Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
And
I got 200
straight into the dryer. It was terrible.
I got 200 bits.
There you go.
So
Rudy likes me best.
with the 100 series, as I understand it, there is a version you can buy that does not have LTI.
Yes.
The Warbond
any
version.
Strong feelings one way or the other on this?
The Warbond version has LTI. The other one, what's the other one called? What's the non-Warbond?
Regular
Warbond,
one.
yeah.
The non-Warbond comes with, I think, 6 months.
It is 6 months. Which is actually so think about this. So if you go to like the packages that are like available normally, right? Like the Constellation, all those, the further towards the starter packs you go, the less insurance you get. And 6 months is the highest amount of insurance that you can get. Those are attached to like constellations and freelancers and things like that.
I think it would be fair to say as well, if you can't get enough money in 6 months to replace a starter ship, then, you know.
All right. So here's my thing. Can you count how many games you have spent 6 months worth of game time in while playing?
The only game anybody
there's only one
is World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
that's it.
For me, there's just the one.
Wait,
looks like Shiver has heroes. Well, villains.
Oh, there you go.
All the games that I've played a lot, they don't track how long you've played it, so I have no idea.
Yeah, but even still, think about it. 6 months is how many?
Well, I believe it would be
6 months less than a year.
Yeah.
See, that's it. So do we have like complete clarification on that point? Is it time in the game, or is it just from whenever you?
They said time in the game. 100%.
Yeah.
They said time in the game.
Wow, like that's gonna be that. So it almost doesn't even matter. Almost any insurance is gonna last forever.
So all right. So 6 months of insurance is 4,320 hours of gameplay. Also, fun fact: that insurance doesn't tick if it's in your hangar. So if you're flying
Interesting.
That's yeah. No, it's essentially
if you're not flying it. Then
this is why LTI doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I think another thing is as well is it's meant as a starter ship. They don't want people like us going back, buying one on the cheap through credit or whatever, and then using it as an LTI token on other ships.
Yeah, exactly.
You can sort of understand that.
I mean, in all honesty, speaking purely from a business standpoint, they are trying to incentivize Warbond sales more because new money is harder and harder to find.
It's because
it's not a surprise. I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just the way it works.
And honestly, we were going to hit this point at some point, right? When the game is not in a finished state, we've saturated the amount of people that are willing to put up with the crap of an alpha game. We've saturated it. We're all here. Hello, welcome.
Hello, everybody. All 2 million of us, apparently.
Yep, all 2 million of us. That's a lot of people.
I think it's nice as well that anyone who's coming into the game new, if they want to, for the price of a regular AAA game, could pick up a starter ship with LTI today during this. So that's cool for them.
Yeah, and it's also one of those things where it's like think about like how wildly successful Star Citizen is. A Way Out came out 2 weeks ago, right? It's that co-op only Prison Break game from the guys who made Brothers.
Oh, cool.
It's a cool game. They sold 1 million copies, and they're like, this wildly exceeded all expectations. It's a runaway success. Think about that.
Remember,
we have 2 million accounts in Star Citizen.
True. You remember when the creator of A Way Out at the Video Game Awards flipped off the camera and what was it? He said FEA or something like that.
The Oscars.
FEA, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean FEA also.
You can't say FEA. You can't say FEA because they published this game.
Oh, okay.
It's only on Origin.
All right.
Yeah, that's a problem. It should be noted, this is a popular ship.
It's absurdly popular.
I took a quick look at the numbers, and even though it's a starter ship, so it doesn't cost very much, it's brought in 500 grand in 2 days.
Yeah,
It's
so
a good looking ship.
although we say that it's been saturated, apparently people are still willing to spend some money. So there's that.
Well,
There's people like you, Jay. You're a collector, so there's people out there that are like, you know what? It's pretty affordable, but yeah, go on.
the funny thing
Fair
is,
enough,
though,
there you
that
go.
by the time the game comes out, there's going to be like 150 ships, and like, people own 150 ships. And just
See, I feel like
do have
so.
you need
one
to have
minor
like
complaint.
a ship. You need to have like a ship dealership in the universe. There, like I have everything.
Player-owned dealerships.
Yeah.
I do have
Horrifying.
one minor complaint with that, and Disco Lando did say it would be like, what was it, at least 1 week's notice going forward on concept ships, and we didn't actually get that on this. But
Yeah,
in
I'm
this
sure
case,
somebody
it
will hit
being
him on it.
affordable, fair enough.
They screwed it up one other time, and they apologized for it. I think they probably just forgot this time around.
And like I say, it's way on the affordable side of things. So yeah, letting it fly, but we've got an eye on you. Don't.
Also, I agree.
Please.
Also, the other thing that's nice about this ship is that because it's so small, it's probably going to be in the game pretty soon. I'm just guessing. I don't have any information on that.
They've locked down the Origin style thing.
Style guide. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're with Origin where Aegis was. So they're just gonna crank those ships out, especially since it's very small. Yeah, like you said.
So what kind of knock-on effects do you think this is going to have potentially on the 300 series when that gets reworked?
It's gonna be bigger.
Yeah. I said that right away. As soon as I saw this come out, first thing I said to David was, so the 300 series just got bigger.
Yep. It's gonna be bigger.
Because the 300 was a de facto like high-end starter ship, but I think that they've realized they have to make it bigger in order to actually work.
It's like I would put it on par with like an Avenger or something, right?
Yes. It's this new thing they've got coming up, like an intermediate ship between the starter and then you get a roll.
Yeah. I like it.
I remember back in the day though, like when I actually first bought it, which was December of 2012. Not recently.
Real quick, 100% 300 rework is this year. It's on the schedule.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they put it on the schedule now?
I'm like 99% sure. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't think it was on there as of like 2 weeks
It's
ago.
like 3-4 or something way in the future, but I remember seeing it.
Ships and vehicles. Yes, it is. It is on the schedule for 3-4 now.
There's a cat drinking a glass of water on the other desk over there. Just face just submerged in water.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's one way to drink water. You just put your whole face in there and you're good to go. So when I first bought the Pathfinder package, which was what the 315p was, way the hell back in the day. Let's see what it was. It was oh, I don't like seeing that number, how much I've spent.
Or does it just not like me anymore?
It has 4 digits now.
So that's the thing. The reason I've always considered it a starter ship is when I bought that package back in 2012, it was $40 US.
Yep.
And
Which these ships are now $40.
Amazing. It's an amazing deal, I have to tell you.
Yeah.
It was an incredible deal. But yeah, I first thing when the 100 came out, I'm like, the 300, they've looked at it, the 300's getting bigger.
And the price is going to go up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they can't in their right mind sell 300 series ships for the same price as 100 series ships.
No. So one of the things I thought right away.
If you think about it though, the 600i is like way more expensive.
Yeah, it's also 91 meters long.
So, well, yeah. So there's wiggle room, is what I'm saying, for the the
totally
300 ship around, and it's also much bigger. So
I also think they're gonna have to make room for the 200 because it is in the lore. The 200 series is in the lore, so there has to be some.
That's true.
What is it in the lore?
It was a small shuttle type ship. Now if
That doesn't mean they still make them though.
That's the thing. But I think even if they don't make them currently, it'll probably be in the game eventually as like a historical ship. But
Like the Zeus.
Our illustrious leader there, David, he used the 200 in one of his stories. But I just wanted to mention, like, I've always thought this, like, you look at the 300 and it is totally, the interior is useless. And in order to make it useful, it has to get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
It's gotta be bigger.
Especially for the cargo one.
They could keep the size, the proportions the same, right? They could keep the design pretty much the same. They just got to make it bigger,
just like they did with the Avenger. Like the Avenger just grew by like 50%.
I'm so, you don't even know how hyped I am for the new Avenger.
No, the 100 is quite small. It's only I noticed it's only 15 meters long, which is pretty small for
it's slightly longer than the 85, if I remember.
Yeah, it's not very big.
No. So people are like, oh, why would I even get an 85X if I could just get this? So an 85X is one smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Two, it can seat two people and not just one. And then in terms of why would I get the 100 instead of the 85X, is the 100 is a lot more versatile.
Yeah, the 85X was initially built just as a small like speeder to go from your 890 down to the planet, or vice versa.
It also 85X doesn't have a quantum drive either, which is a big problem.
It doesn't?
Nope. It is to go to and from.
I swear to God, I've flown quantum in that thing.
Well, it's not supposed to have a quantum drive.
Let me look.
I mean, they might have put one in there anyway, but originally it wasn't supposed to have one.
As Richie says, it's the 85 is a snub, and the 100 it's more versatile than a snub fight.
Where's the ship page?
It's under development. You're looking for the ship matrix?
85X does have quantum in the dock.
But yeah, so like the 100 series is actually shorter than the Aurora in terms of length by about 3 meters. But yeah, I can definitely see the 300 series growing to something like 30 meters from its current 23.
At least get bigger by like 60%, 3/5 or so, you know, like the Avenger did. Because I think if you've got to squat down in your ship, they want to get rid of that. It's a bit silly.
And so it's the same. The 100 is the same width and only 2 meters longer than the 85X.
Oh,
yeah. I'm wrong. It has a quantum drive.
It's got a quantum drive. Yeah.
I'm blown away that thing has a quantum drive.
Because I know I've flown quantum in that thing and attempted to land it on a planet. It does not like atmosphere at all.
Which is funny because it's supposed to be to go to and from like the planet from the 890 jump.
One bit. It's almost as bad as the Mustang.
That's hilarious. Wow. Wow, the Mustang's getting completely redone.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm excited for the new Mustang.
Yeah.
It does not have a jump drive, which is a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Does the 100 have a jump drive?
Yes, it does, I believe. I think it's a fully featured ship. But I'll have to check. Can
either of you do something about the dead bot? Because the bot either that or the bot just doesn't like me.
Our bot is having technical difficulties right
Hit
now.
that bot there, Jake.
It's dead,
It's
Jim.
bad. It's dead, Jim.
So, calling all devs, decompression came up. Decompression came up as something that's still going to be in the game, but has been pushed back. Basically because they've introduced loads of other things into it. The example given was, we could have the inside of the ship possibly respond to decompression, but then we're going to need the inside of the ship respond to that as well, environmentally, so you actually notice it. So that needs to be set up first, and apparently design stepped in and said, we want to get what we've got there first, and then work on decompression. Now, with the addition of decompression as well, in the interest of, as Chris said himself, a chess game thing, you're going to need something to counter decompression, like magnets on your boots, or some, it doesn't have to be mag boots, but something like that to combat it, or counter it, if you will.
Giant suction cups.
Yep.
They're going to call me Octopus Man. I'm just going to wear a suit with suction cups all over it.
And just like throw yourself against the wall when you decompress.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my idea of being bitten by a radioactive spider.
Except it's an octopus. Or a starfish. Starfish could work too.
That works.
What about cuttlefish?
If you get bit by a radioactive starfish, you can regenerate limbs, so that's a plus.
Good point.
Okay. Suppose that is handy. How do we get here from decompression? Decompression still coming is the point.
Yes,
How do you feel about this I think this is a good idea because it adds more tactics to shipboarding, for instance. They're still looking at shipboarding being a thing because you can just blow them out the airlock.
Yeah, because you don't have to worry about like entrances and exits of the ship being choke points that you can easily get shot down through. You can make your own entrance.
Oh, you're right. Our bot is super dead. Hold on.
Why did you die, bot? How did you die? Did someone assassinate our bot?
Yeah. So I think we switched to Streamlabs is what happened. And David can't be bothered if it's more complex than an iPhone. So yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that I've been learning Streamlabs and stuff, but I've been learning Streamlabs and stuff. So if you need an extra tech guy,
yeah. I mean, see, but here's the thing. I know Streamlabs.
True.
And I was like, "Hey, David, let me help you." And he's like, "Ugh, can't be bothered. I'm David."
Sounds exactly.
Is that what he sounds like?
yeah, yeah. I almost thought ERRIS was here for a second.
Bow ties.
IPAs.
Hey.
Wait.
Oh, I love it. So if anyone is wondering, I thought this is kind of an interesting thing. I'm just looking through the Q&A right now. What are the advantages and disadvantages that this ship has versus the other three starters? And basically mentioned that the fuel system gives it enhanced range. It's less maneuverable than the Mustang. It's more maneuverable than the Aurora, but it lacks the strength and durability of the Aurora. So there's your basic like.
Well, I mean, the Aurora is a flying brick, so.
Yes, it is.
It is.
Sure is. It flies really well for a brick, actually.
Yeah. It runs into things good like a brick, too.
Breaks up better than a brick when you shoot it, though.
Sure. But yeah, if a ship doesn't hold up as much as an Aurora, that isn't saying much.
But then,
but it's like it's made of paper mache instead of paper.
True.
And it teaches you to not get hit, hopefully.
To get good, son.
Yeah.
Oh, the other notable differences between the 85X and the 100. The 100 has a bed. Important. Also, the 100 has cargo. Also, the 85X, you cannot apparently get into it when you're holding cargo. So you can't even like have cargo in your hands and get in. So you can't carry any cargo at all in the 85X.
So you're saying
You know
that
what? I'm gonna try and throw cargo in my front seat like I do in my car every single day.
Just throw it on your, just like huck it onto the passenger seat and hope it's
Yeah.
So you
Watch
mean-
you like
Put
you're
it
like
on the
trying to do
roof.
maneuvers and it's like slamming you in the head and
so what you're saying is if I'm going to a friend's wedding, I can't like sit the cake on my lap and tell the driver to go really slow so I don't get cake on me?
no.
Damn it.
That sounds like
There goes my immersion.
you're drawing from personal experience there, Nitro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Tom, you just don't believe hard enough. Tom says 85X has no cargo. He's not believing hard enough.
Yeah, he's just not trying hard enough is what's happening.
Yeah, you gotta try.
Mhm.
Try, believe. You could do anything if you put your mind to it.
Mhm.
Yep. What else happened this week? Nothing?
They showed off the new Avenger rework.
That was awesome.
Yep, they did. They did indeed.
They showed more Hammerhead stuff. They showed off the 600i in detail.
I just want the Hammerhead. I just want to ram things. Is that too much to ask?
No.
On a first date, yes.
I saw like the twinkle in your eye when I said ram things. It was like, oh, it's coming. That's also what she said.
Should also be noted that we have a new shipyard entry. Fuel Mechanics was just posted yesterday.
Yes.
Which sort of explains how
They've canceled mining. They've canceled salvage. We're just gonna get fuel mechanics instead.
No, they haven't.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they showed a bit more on the 600i as well.
Yeah, no, they showed a bunch more on the 600i. It looks amazing. I don't know if I'm really going to be much for the like super luxury, but it still looks nice.
Mm.
A lot of people were saying they really dig that it's now strutless.
Oh yeah, strutless is awesome.
I don't know how that's going to affect people in virtual reality that are afraid of heights, but that would freak me the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one where it's just a glass cockpit.
Mm-hmm. It does have some like separators in the glass, but I think in terms of a VR experience, the Carrack is going to be intense because the pilot hangs out right over
Just like the circus
space.
Mm.
Yes, also intense. So one of the notable things that happened on the production schedule this week was that they updated their current level of completion for the locations in 3.3. They are 78% complete for Hurston.
Cool.
They're getting there.
Which one was Hurston?
The one they showed at
one-
CitizenCon
Yeah. It's the one they showed at CitizenCon with Lorville landing
With
zone.
the-
and they,
with
like,
the head crabs.
yeah. Yes,
And
and
the
also all the
monorail.
industrial equipment everywhere and the monorail. Yeah. That's going to be our first full-size planet.
Yep.
And it will also have a bunch of moons, so there'll be a lot more.
A lot
space.
more game.
Yep.
Exactly twice the game. Actually, more than twice the game.
And then in 3.4, we're getting ArcCorp and Area 18 and all of ArcCorp's moons. So game's getting big in a hurry towards the end of the year.
Yep.
And that's just one system.
Hey, so we got the shipyard. We got a design document.
We did.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Remember how we were asking for those for like a year?
Yeah. They've been doing better lately. I mean, we had all those other shipyard ones that came out right around was it CitizenCon, I guess, or was it the holiday stream?
They put out a bunch of them like last year, and then they stopped for a while, and then we got another one,
and then we got one more. Yeah.
Has anyone gone over the fuel one, or is it just as what we think? You'll have fuel. You can mine it from hydrogen clouds, was it, in space in an emergency, etc.
This is specific because of the AIR system that was implemented for the 100. It's specifically explaining how that works. That's basically what they're looking at here, and how like scoops will work. Now, they also have they've also like explained like how each of the different types of ship will handle fuel.
Yep.
So they have like short range combat ships, the long range combat ships, exploration ships. So like exploration ships, for example, will have fuel intakes by default. And this will basically aid their long range because they need to be able to go for a long, long time without visiting a fuel depot. And like industrial and transport ships will typically have fuel intakes by default. Support ships, similar.
Would small scout ships as well? Like the what's it called? The little red Origin one.
M50.
M50.
The M50.
The M50 and the Razor.
The M50 and the Razor specifically do not. They
Okay.
both deal with it by having larger fuel tanks. Because I think that they just can't take in fuel fast enough to deal with it. And then in terms of like short range combat ships will not have the ability to equip fuel intakes. Long range combat ships will have them by default because they are by definition long range. So like the Vanguard, for example.
Speaking of the Razor real quick, I just want to highlight this video that got sent to me today, which is just a beautiful shot of the Razor with Disco Lando slowly jaunting across the screen. I don't know why it got sent to me, but he said he wanted it to be on the relay station, so
Lando did?
Lando said that.
No, it was the person that provided me with all the nice B-roll footage for today.
Nice.
And who
This
was
is
that
nice.
person?
It was Mr. How do you pronounce his name again? I got used to his name, Aramis. Okay, I got used to his name in another server, and I didn't want to say it wrong.
Beautiful.
I think I know the server you're referring to, and it's probably best you don't refer to him as that.
Yeah, exactly.
Mentioned on Calling All Devs, talking of the M50, they would ask, one of the questions was whether or not there are other ships that aren't on the schedule that they could rework. And there's only basically 3. One of them's a buggy. It's the M50, the Merlin, and the buggy. They are slightly out of date compared with the rest of things. They could, maybe, potentially, if there is ever time, but there probably won't be, so this is not in any way set in stone, but possible. Not, you know, those all the regular things. But M50 and Merlin, I don't know if it's all 3 at once they'd be able to do, or just one of them. But any thoughts on that? Because I mean, like the Merlin, who uses a Merlin? That's hardly.
I'd be cool with them reworking the buggy.
The buggy needs to be reworked. It was made. Like
If they rework the
86 years
Merlin, it
ago.
should be when they implement the constellation functionality.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I mean, how long would it possibly take them to rework the Merlin? It's like the size of a shoe.
Yeah. I really hope that they give it the I don't know, the finesse that it had when it first came out. That ship was one of my favorite things to fly when it first came out.
The only problem with that one is you can't see over the dashboard, and you just feel like you're 2 foot tall, and you know what it's like to experience life as me. You're just like this.
Yeah.
So our dearest friend Matt Sherman actually addressed that on a captain's table the other week. He was in the chat. He's like, that is an issue not just with the Razor, but like lots of ships. So they're working on it.
Yeah, they mentioned that they're trying to fix basically the camera's not in the right spot. So it needs to be fixed.
We need a booster seat.
Yep. Hey, just like Zuckerberg.
This is why they have metrics in the game, is so they can actually design a ship and know pretty much where a character's eye level is going to be.
Yeah.
So they can figure out what vision you're going to have.
Yeah, it's the same thing with when they talked about the Moby Glass, how they couldn't, it was like bound to the character's arm. So the animator kind of had to just guess where it was going to be on the screen and put the arm there. And a lot of the time it was just like your forehead is the only thing that can see the Moby Glass screen.
Yeah.
Useful.
Well, you know, it's for when you get your third eye.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cutlass cockpit configuration was talked about. Basically, now I know this is going to sound controversial. This is possibly a very strange idea, but as it stands, only the pilot can pilot the ship from the pilot's seat.
And that's
That's right.
do people find a problem with that?
Yeah, they do.
That's
Some people were looking at
Co-pilot
the
should be able to
on the
take over.
Cutlass. Yeah, but
I
the problem
guess.
there is it hasn't got any of the bits there.
Yeah.
If you're going to pilot the ship, you actually need the control inputs in the craft itself because they're not faked in any way, apparently.
Right.
This is the way this is what Item System 2.0 is part of. Is
Right.
you know, if you move the joystick in the game left, then the ship is going to go left,
Like
and so you need the actual inputs there.
Like, I get that, you know, if you're in the co-pilot seat and the pilot's like, oh, I need to go do something, and they get out, the co-pilot wants to take command or whatever. But don't you think that in that situation, the co-pilot should be the one that prioritizes getting out and doing whatever needs to be done?
Also, keep in mind, this is a Drake ship.
Right.
This is
So-
a cheap ass ship
Yep.
that is made in the cheapest, most inefficient way they possibly can. Just like, they don't care about how it would be really nice if your co-pilot could take over. Does it fly? Yes. Okay. Good enough.
I mean, it's like
That's it.
it's like going on a ride with your friend on a motorcycle, and you're sitting in the sidecar, and then you complain that you can't drive the motorcycle from the sidecar.
In fairness,
It would
though,
be
I mean,
nice, but
Yeah.
that you can think of situations where you might want to swap out, where you might
Oh,
need the
100%.
pilot to jump out, and that
So-
is far more interesting on a motorbike and car than it is in a ship.
I'm finding I just keep having this mental image of like getting out of the co-pilot's seat and just like booting the like right to the head, just a boot to the head, kicking the pilot out of his seat and then jumping in. I don't know. I think that'd be efficient.
I mean, they're
On a
adding
road trip with you.
melee animations, so it might be able to happen.
There you go. Totally.
Just, can I roundhouse like Patrick Swayze?
I mean, in GTA, you could rip drivers out of the seat. I'm sure you could be able to do it in Star Citizen.
Yeah, but you got to make it more like badass. You can't just like
Yeah.
just grab them and pull them out. I want your thing where you just kick them in the head.
Yeah, just kick him in the head and he falls down.
Yeah.
Can you
Falls right
grab
out
his
of the
wallet
seat.
at the same time?
No, we don't have wallets in the 20th or the 30th century.
Or just take his Moby Glass then.
And wait, are the seats still offset to one side, or are they centered? In the new,
I believe
more
they're
centered now.
centered. They're
Okay.
centered
Right.
now, I think.
Are they centered? Okay.
Okay.
Pretty sure they're centered. You can walk down both sides of the, if I remember correctly. Last time I
Okay,
flew it.
because I was just thinking
Jake.
that like you kick them in the head and they get stuck on the really narrow side and they can't get out.
With the Cutlass rework, they moved the seats to the middle, right? They're in the center of
They didn't
the
move,
cockpit area.
Sure.
I'm
Yes.
like 99% sure, but
Hang on,
Yeah.
hang on. Someone just said in your situation there, Nehkara, lick the guy's ear.
And that would make him
Yeah.
get out of the seat real fast,
so
unless he's into it.
I sent this gift. There's this really so you're getting a hockey story because I'm Canadian. There's this really obnoxious hockey player on the Boston Bruins, Brad Marchand, and in the first playoff game of the year, he licked one guy's cheek to piss him off. Just like grabbed his face and licked his cheek. Like, okay, all right, buddy.
Oh, Canada, you're crazy. You are. Oh, that's crazy talk.
Well, it's just like, what? It's bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen that. It's not a usual maneuver in hockey.
Does
The cheek lick.
does the Cutlass have physical displays? Like the
What do you
Aegis
mean?
ships? Like physical, like
MFD.
It
yeah.
has MFTs.
Okay. Because someone just said we're overthinking it. In space, you just need to take off their helmet. And one, there's atmosphere in the ship, so unless you have the back door open at all times, I'm not really worried about people dying or suffocating. But two, I think it'd be really funny because if it was all holographic displays, you take off their helmet and they just don't know what's going on anymore because they don't have any heads-up display.
No, like the Freelancer has more holographic displays.
Yeah, but
which
that
are apparently getting more and more holographic all the time.
aren't they like displayed out of the dashboard rather than the helmet?
Yeah, they are.
So
Yeah, they are. I think mostly the in-helmet displays are aimed towards combat ships, where it's a really good idea to have your helmet on anyway.
mhm.
Anyway, so it's almost question
I've
time.
got
Do we
one
have
more
any
thing.
questions?
I got one more thing from Calling All Devs.
Ooh.
Freelancer Max. Someone was asking about number of engines on it because it is listed in the ship matrix as 2 engines, and it's supposed to have 4. But it is an error in the ship
It has
matrix.
7.
But this is the thing: when it comes to actually building it out, it's going to have as many engines as it needs for the role it needs. Being
Right.
the fact that it's going to be hauling heavier cargo, it's going to need heavier engines. So
Yeah.
basically, don't worry if it
Y'all,
comes out with 2
the bot
engines, they're
doesn't
bigger.
work.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
right.
said this, the bot don't work. We're going to
Okay,
do the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, just put question in brackets and then ask your question
Yeah.
in chat.
The old-fashioned way.
Chat.
Yep.
Chat question.
Remember freaking inverse? Yeah. That's where we're going. All the way back.
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 Miku says questions. Where do I ask questions? Right here, Miku. You did it. You've done it.
You've asked a question. Congratulations.
You've asked a
Bracket
question.
bracket, riddle, bracket. All of it is good.
So
Give us riddles.
I just want to do a quick rundown.
Nitro!
What?
Stop it.
I just wanted to do
I
a
need
quick
to know.
rundown on the production roadmap this week and what updates there were.
Okay.
If that's cool with everybody. The RSI Odyssey flight suit rework has been moved to 3.3. Wear and tear has
I
been
did
fused
shift.
with the item 2.0 ship systems and the weapon feature, which we actually got no word of from Captain Xylo himself. Armors are about 20% completion. There was progress on the 600i, the Mustang Alpha, and the Avenger this week. Some more progress on weapons. Now, the big thing this week was actually the game location section of 3.3. So the small rest stop has begun production. So it's well in progress. Hurston is 74% complete. Lorville is 38% complete, and the small rest stop, which also was known as the truck stop, is 18% complete. The comma ray revision has been removed, and that's probably due to a delay of some kind. Tumbril RC version had some progress. And then in 3.4, the cargo depot was also removed, probably again due to some kind of a delay. But we're not really sure. We didn't get any official word on these, the cargo depot and the comma ray, so they might come back in the future. And there's a whole bunch of weapons added to 3.4 as well. So there's a bonus. But probably the biggest news of the week was the locations, Hurston being 74% complete. That is big news. It's the first actual planet that's going to be in the game. So that'll be cool. Anyway, I'm done.
I saw Lasdom underscore SD. You have to take it from Port Ulsar. Sorry, Shiver.
Read the question.
Oh,
how can I drive my
He's not very good at this, is he? No.
no,
it's terrible.
My first time,
Is there a
guys.
vehicle
Take it
spawner
easy.
there, or do I need to get it from Port Ulsar? There's it's some of the outposts have vehicle spawners. Yes.
Yes, they do.
Mr. Square Peg asks, do you think network bind culling will make it in 3.2?
No.
For people that don't know what that is, can you please explain?
Oh,
And-
Jesus Christ.
And those people,
I can explain it if you want.
those people being me, I don't know what that is.
It's the
Okay.
one where it only loads what it needs to load rather than what it does now, where you load in and it loads everything at once. Network bind culling. It's like,
I think
you're
I
here,
understand.
you don't need to know what's going on 5 light years away.
5 years away.
Yeah, 5 years, whatever.
Currently, so actually not currently, in 3.3.0, basically you got updates about everything that was happening in the whole game universe all the time, which was very inefficient. In 3.1, they put in a thing called serialized variable culling, which actually just stopped the updates, but the actual physical entities everywhere in the universe were still loaded in for you.
Mm-hmm.
But they weren't updated all the time, so it eased a lot of the burden. That's why 3.1 actually does have a significant performance increase. Network bind culling is actually those objects, according to your client, those objects do not exist if you are not near them. Period. They're not there.
Mm-hmm.
They're not loaded, so they take even less resources than before. Specifically, believe it or not, serialized variable culling is what really helped with network busyness, basically, on the network thread. The actual bind culling that's left, the network bind culling, will actually help more with RAM, because then your computer isn't even holding those locations in memory.
Gotcha.
That's what they talked about in the performance one.
Okay.
Now, the reason that network bind culling's in 3.2 in the schedule is because they have to have it done by then internally for the developers, because it's actually coming out along with object container streaming in 3.3. But it's going to break the game really badly when they finish it. So they have to fix it again before.
Object container streaming is the one where, say you've got a Bengal tiger and you're in another ship, you only need to see the outside of a Bengal tiger or something that passes by a window. You don't need to load all the assets that are in
Bengal
a Bengal tiger. Or be aware of.
Did you just create a new variant?
No, I'm thinking of Wing Commander. I'm so fucking old. I'm sorry.
I thought it was just a joke. I was just going with it.
Do you know the worst bit is I'm even sat here picturing the fucking tiger's claw from Wing Commander as I'm saying it. I'm sorry. This is what happens when you get old and you've been playing a lot of games.
So I just wanted to. I mean, object container streaming is like. There is nothing bigger coming in terms of technology for the game than that. It is like underpinning the entire game, because the biggest problem is, like, when you're going from one location to another, the reason that we are not getting another planet until network bind culling, or not until object container streaming comes in, is that when you are flying to the planet, like, the game has to load everything on that planet at once, which is like, if you were to do it right now, that's a giant pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to kill your computer. Object container streaming goes.
Someone found the link to the question document. Who found it?
No, Rick. Ghost.
Someone did.
Cool.
If someone could post that in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated.
I could have done that.
Oh,
really?
well, yeah. So the bot doesn't work, but if we have the link, then yeah.
Thanks,
I
Ghost.
think I created it, so I can get it. But anyway, I just wanted to mention quickly. So basically, what object container streaming does is it goes, oh, you want a quantum drive there, so then it loads everything that you in the place where you're going in the background while you're traveling there. So that's huge. But network bind culling can't be put into the game as like we're playing it until there's object container streaming. Anyway, I'm done with this stupid technical crap.
I find it very interesting.
I know, but some people like just glaze over and
Which is fair enough.
they don't really care that much.
Noscavian asks, should I get a 300 series anticipating a price increase? It's if you've already got a package, you don't need to. If you're looking at the 300 going, that is a sexy ship, and you would regret not having one, and you've got the money to spare, you've got all your food, you've got all your bills paid, all the disclaimer, and your dog's not going to annoy you, get 300 now rather than with the price increase, because at some point will probably be a price increase.
But
not for definite.
Only get one if you want it for collection, or if you like the idea of what the ship is supposed to be. Not what it is right now, not what you think it's going to be, what it was initially promised to be, because that is what Star Citizen tries to do with it. They will continue updating it until it meets their standard of what it is supposed to be in lore. So,
like, you can almost guarantee the 300 is going to get better because you have to like crouch over when you're inside it, and they don't like that. That's in fact one of the big reasons why they changed the Avenger, so that it was so cramped and awkward for your character. So Ghost has posted the question document there, or the question survey form thing. So I just realized that we have a question, an old question from July of 2017 that asked, will Star Citizen be finished before Chris Roberts dies?
He's not George R.R. Martin.
Oh, man.
Okay. Mr. Squarepeg asks, what are your thoughts on Australia not being real according to the Flat Earth Society? I think it's great.
Is that why they don't?
Interesting theory.
Is that why they don't get good internet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, not being real would definitely inhibit your internet speed.
Yeah.
Shiver is not as old as he forgot he was. Asks, have they talked about the ability to operate ship doors and such remotely using the Mobiglass? Probably not.
I don't think so at all.
Would be unlock ship access for someone while away from the ship, possibly switch defensive laser turrets on while landed, thinking Mos Eisley escaped with Millennium Falcon. Yeah,
it's a good idea though.
Yes, 100%. They're probably going to put that in. It's just not in the game yet.
It's things like this that I think is when they'll take advantage of the Mobiglass being virtually like an operating system inside of the game, and actually have that as an app or something like that, and an upgrade you can put on your ship, and just another way you can customize your ship in a way that people may or may not expect. I think it's kind of cool.
It is really cool. I'm all about customization and kind of personalization, I guess.
Ashley asks, what do you think about buying ships, be it with money or credits, that are about to increase in price in order to have more CCU value?
I don't think you get more CCU value out of them.
Yeah, it freezes at what you bought it, doesn't it?
Yeah. If I remember right.
I think that's correct, yeah.
Which is also an advantage if you want to do the buyback, because you don't have the increased price.
So who's singing this week if we run out of questions? Is that you?
Me, probably.
Or maybe it'll just be a choir.
Yep.
Oh, can we do Bohemian Rhapsody?
Sure.
Sure.
I've been practicing my Mamma Mia's.
Here they come. See, look. We threatened. Here come the questions.
Jake's Whiskey asks, do you think offering LTI and War Bond only concept sale lessens the value of money already used, i.e. store credit?
No.
Noscavian asks, is it true that ERRIS is hiding under one of your desks? You know, I told him to be a little bit quieter, but he didn't listen.
Disgusting, first of all.
Quiet down. Shut up.
Ashley asks, how can Australia be real if our eyes are not real?
It can't. Exactly.
No,
Australia.
We've already stated that the reason their internet speeds are so bad is because they're not real.
Australia.
Just like Finland.
Finland
is fake.
Australia can only see at 30 frames per second.
That's awkward.
If they can only see, isn't that 6 frames faster than we can?
Yes.
Brivols asks, how do you think CIG will balance size 1 weapons to make them more appealing? One word, price.
Mm-hmm.
Agent 121370 asks, why do ships displays cut off when you exit a seat?
It's like well, here's the joke answer. It's like those chairs that like hook into your spinal cord, so when you sit, so when you get out of the chair, it disconnects, right? Yeah.
If I leave my seat, my computer turns off.
The real answer is that it's not supposed to work that way.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that should change when rendered texture is fully in game.
Well,
Should.
yeah, and item 2.0 is fully done and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. When the game's done, it'll work.
When the game is finished.
I mean, because what you've got at the moment is item system 2.0 is not what the full-fledged system is. You know, shock and behold, in this alpha game, we haven't got a full system yet. I know.
I think 3.2, they're pretty sure they'll be done. So,
and that's going to be like the joystick in the ship is the actual joystick for the ship. The MFD
I think it already.
on the ship
I think that
is the
part
MFD.
already is.
Yeah, but I mean, like everything you see as a component will actually be the component rather than a placeholder or a mix.
Exactly. I see what I want to have happen. I think this would be amazing. Is if you get shot in the cockpit of your ship and like your joystick gets shot off, you should just completely lose control. Somebody got hold it in your hand, and you're like, damn it.
Like you're trying to pull up so hard that it just breaks off. It's one of those moments where you kind
of like that.
It's one of those movie moments where you just like your character looks down and just is looking at you holding the joystick and it not being attached, and you just shrug as you careen into an asteroid.
Exactly.
Fact.
Ashley asks, do you think we will get a ship dedicated to moving hab units around?
Yes.
Isn't that like what the Pioneer is?
No, the Pioneer makes
a mobile
them.
3D printer.
It constructs them. Yes, but probably not for quite a long time. I'm guessing.
Oh, hang on. I want to ask Noscavian's question, even though it's in chat. But so we've seen UE style electronics, and recently we've seen Jean style electronics / stations. What do you think Banu style electronics and stations look like? Bioorganic mushrooms people push themselves inside of?
Yes.
They look like Ferengi ships done.
It's just gonna be an orifice that you stick your hands in. It's kind of like gross and slimy on the inside.
There. No, not your hands.
Well, that's only if it's a bigger ship.
Stick something else in there.
Your foot? What?
No.
What? Your head?
No.
Your elbow.
No.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Commander Llama asks, by the end of the current roadmap for Alpha 3.4, will the current Alpha system be one complete system, with future Alphas starting to add multiple systems, jump points, and so on?
No.
Not quite. Well, not even half, is it?
I don't know the answer, but I'm going to agree with those two and say no.
No, it's not. They still have Microtech, and they have a Crusader that still has to go in. They have a bunch of stuff left in Stanton after 3.4.
I would imagine they're probably going to make Stanton as complete of a system and experience is representative of the final game as possible before moving on to jump points.
Yeah. I don't expect him to put in jump points until it's done. Till Stanton is 100% complete.
Oh yeah.
Bear in mind, you don't need jump points for Squadron.
Fact. We'll probably get Squadron first.
Probably. Now.
Well, so
they could even cheat and just have it as a FMV.
I guarantee you, the visual part of jump points is done.
You guarantee it?
I guarantee you, the visual part of jump points is done because we saw jump points like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was actually over 3 years ago.
Yeah.
At the Town Hall.
So we'll. I guarantee we will see jump points in Squadron 42, but the logistics behind jump points moving in a multiplayer environment from one area to another with more multiplayer entities moving about and doing their thing is a whole different can of worms.
So I think somebody needs to ask this question, and I'm going to ask you guys right now. But like a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, before 3.1 came out, Aaron Roberts said that when 3.1 came out, they would update the roadmap with the next patch. So 3.5 or 4.0 or whatever. And that hasn't happened yet. When do you think that will happen?
Soon.
Okay.
TM.
What do you think, Shiver?
I think they're just going to be concentrating on this year. I don't think we're going to see a roadmap for anything
It's
after
not
this
what
year.
Aaron Roberts, the global head of production, said.
Realistically, I don't think
Things
we'll see it until
change.
CitizenCon.
Yeah, it's going to be a big event like that. Then I think we'll start seeing a bit more of that. I don't think even they know really what's on the cards for early 2019 outside of a couple of rough ideas.
Well, I would hope they would.
I mean, they can say, we want to be in a position at this time this year where we can, load the Redeemer in and have 50 people in the servers. But then something comes along in 3.3 and they're like, fuck, we need to fucking fix this shit.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone else get the feeling that they just kind of want to forget about their Redeemer?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they won't, but
They mentioned it a lot on Calling All Devs.
Did they?
The Redeemer. Yes, that's up to this year.
That bit. Really? Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure unless I had a really bad experience this morning.
All right.
I'm sure
we got a sudden influx of questions.
So go.
Agent 121-370. Do you guys like the 600i starting with Jake?
Yes, I do.
Yep.
Nehkara.
Yes.
And Nitro.
I actually don't.
Excellent.
But that's just a personal opinion.
I'm not going to... I think it looks like a weird sex toy. Rivals 84.
But that's okay.
I think I talked at length one time on Relay Station where I showed somebody that doesn't know much about Star Citizen whatsoever a picture of the 600i, and the first thing he goes is, "Oh, it looks like a uterus." And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like,
a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah.
Rivals 84. Do you hope the 300 series is as low to the ground as the 100 series?
No, I need my off-road capability.
What does he mean by low to the ground?
Well, right now you've got to get in that fucking ladder on the 300 series and spend whatever time getting in.
Okay.
He wants it so you don't have to climb a ladder, right?
I mean,
Or
yeah,
10
its
tall one.
landing gear is actually really long, isn't it?
And you don't necessarily need landing gear the way you do on a plane. So
Right.
Although they did specifically mention this week that is a feature of Origin ships.
True.
That they have the wheels, the normal landing gear.
In conclusion, hopefully. The meat popsicle. Will we be able to name our settlements in Star Citizen?
Probably.
I'm going to guess 100%, but that's just my opinion.
Only because I find... Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say...
Sake.
God dang it.
He keeps asking questions in chat, but Nalskavian said, which ship is more forgettable, the Redeemer or the Genesis Starliner? Which he's got
to remember.
Yeah, he's got a point, because I often forget that both of those ships exist. So both.
I never forget about the Starliner.
I like the Starliner, so I don't forget about it. The Redeemer, I until someone says its name, I'm like, oh, all right, okay, that one again, right, all right.
I kind of like it. I don't know why I like it.
I do too, but
I kind of like
I
it too. It's just very forgettable, and no one ever pays anything.
I forget it exists all the time.
Ashley asks, what do you think about static defenses?
What?
That will be in the
static defenses?
Yeah, will they be in the game, or do we like them? Or
yeah, that's a good point. Like on a settlement or in your ship, because I can see roles for both, but I don't know if they'd allow it in a ship, or at least not many.
Well, what do you mean static? You mean like automatic?
Like point defense turrets.
Yeah.
They've been going away from point defenses, so I'm gonna say probably not on a ship, but guaranteed on settlements.
You mean I can't play?
I'm cool with settlements.
You mean I can't play tower defense inside my Starliner?
I'm thinking not.
Okay.
Rivals 84. For those who are planning on going to CitizenCon, what have you started? Have you started looking for places to stay, or are you waiting?
So waiting
I'm
until there are
waiting.
dates.
I'm waiting not only for dates but also venue because so what me and Dolvak did last year for VerseCon in Austin was we decided to spend a little bit more money and get a hotel that was directly across the street from the venue to save on transportation costs. And it was the smartest thing we ever did. Oh my God. Because we could drink as much as we want and then just stumble on home, and it was the best.
That does sound like a good idea.
So
another option
yeah.
is you can all go to Desmaris's house. Everyone from the con. He will also transport you. He has already volunteered for this, and he's going to cook for you. Just go to Desmaris.
Cool.
I don't think that's a good idea because he does not live in Austin. He lives quite a ways away.
Doesn't matter. He's driving.
Oh, okay.
Commander Llama. Oh shit!
It's a big one. Oh God! What have you done, Shiver?
I didn't do that.
Control Z.
I wish I was a Control Z for life. There we go. For dense fleet battles, what are your dream player counts that can also deliver a relatively lag-free experience, say ping less than 200 in the final game? What do you realistically think is possible with MBC, OCS, server meshing, AWS cloud? Basically, you know, what do you think?
All of the network infrastructure they're trying to
100 players.
Yeah, I was about to say like 50v50.
Because that's a lot. You don't think it is, but it is.
Yeah.
Okay, what if there's 100 players on a single Bengal? Can it fight anything?
Yes.
Because of object container streaming, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're talking
100
like
ships.
100 ships? Okay.
Yeah, 100 ships.
Okay.
I think that's going to be eventually reachable. Yeah, 100 ships.
100 ships total, not 100 v 100. 100 ships.
No, 100 total. Yeah. 50,
I've always found it amazing when I go into like a online match of like multiplayer, where people are off in the distance shooting, and you just see lasers coming out of little black dots in the distance, and they're just streaking across the sky. And that's like what, 16 people. And
I like watching. Yeah, I like watching dogfights from like ones that are happening in atmosphere.
Yeah, can you imagine what a dogfight is going to look like with 100 ships? Just lasers everywhere. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be chaos.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Your graphics card is just going to be screaming.
That's what I'm thinking.
You'll need a 1280 Ti.
Mr. Squarepeg asks, what are your thoughts on the United States trying to put a laser in fighter jets?
Do it. Laser guns. Pew pew.
Then we can have those amazing dogfights in real life.
The future is now.
A waste of money.
The future is now.
Isn't he
They
also
should be investing in shark-mounted laser beams. I saw this documentary about it. There was this spy who was captured and threatened by a shark with freaking laser beams on their freaking heads.
sharks with freaking laser beams on their freaking heads?
Are you okay over there, Jake?
No.
You gonna make it through?
No.
No? Okay.
I feel it in my nose.
I dated a girl like that once.
Ashley asks, would you get a dedicated controller/button panel that is modeled after your favorite ship?
Hell yeah, I would.
Yes, I would.
Hell yeah.
I already have,
but I would.
I already have enough problem dealing with my mouse and keyboard, so probably not.
I already have custom keycaps, so there's that.
Barivals 84, were any of you happy that the Genesis Starliner was mentioned, or even if it was in name only during RTV?
Hell yeah!
What ship was that? I forgot about it.
Shut up, Nitro. You're a failure.
Isn't it that one with the weird hair straightener engines on the side?
No, that's not the one.
It's the backward ship.
The funny thing was,
the
funny thing was, I was pretty certain that the ship they were going to announce this week was a Crusader ship, because they hinted
at it, right?
They did a big profile on Crusader this week that was locked to like subscribers only.
Origin.
Apparently not. Although they gave us a big hint in there what the ship will be. It looks like it'll be the Jupiter. But whenever it comes down the pipe.
Is it gonna be like the Zeus but more Greek?
Nehkara asks if I have custom keycaps with my face on every cap, the Jake keyboard, all the custom. No, but that sounds great.
Ashley
RGB Jakes.
Okay, this next question is specifically for Jake.
How are women supposed to pilot Banu ships?
With their hands.
Just good advice.
Or just a pair of scissors.
Are you talking about the wiener orifice interface?
Yes, that you were talking.
That's what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. Or does it have like a reverse mode?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah. They have to do kegels to operate the ship.
Brings an all new meaning to flight penis.
Flight penis.
Oh god.
That's it. That's it. We've cracked the code. Print it. Send a letter to Chris Roberts. He'll put it in. Yeah, he'll put it in. Yeah.
Mr. Squarepeg asks, does anyone on the cast play board games, tabletop RPGs, or war games? And if so...
Yes!
Oh my god, that's so relevant to what's going on. I've been trying to get to play D&D for so long, but I have like no one to play with.
All right, so here's the thing. I have pressured people on Relay to do this, and it will happen at some point in the future. I, in real life, DM a Star Wars RPG group, and I would love to DM another Star Wars RPG group with my dearest friends at Relay. What's really cool about the Star Wars RPG is it doesn't use like numbered dice at all. It uses custom dice, and it's the system is made so that it's more creativity than math, which makes like wacky things happen. It's awesome. So I really want to do that. Everyone in the chat, pressure all of Relay to do this with me at some point.
I'm already pressured. I want to be a Star Wars.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Can I be Spock?
Sure.
Can I be Data? Or better yet, because I want to be able to like.
You want to be Zuckerberg?
As long as I can be Starbuck, then we're good.
Well, like I'm already in like a moving chair that like I roll around in anyway, so I'll just be a Dalek.
A Hut Force user is what Nehkara wants to be.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Ashley asks, if you could live on any planet in the verse, what would you choose?
Helios. It's totally underwater.
I would choose Goss 2, which is Cassell. It's gorgeous. Check out the concept images.
Jake, would you clone people there?
Yeah.
Okay. I've already said that I would probably. I think one of the landing areas on Earth is in Tokyo, and I want to live there in real life.
Space Tokyo.
I want to go. I'm probably gonna live in Space Tokyo.
Not Tokyo.
San Francisco.
Well, in Japan in general, right? There's one in Japan.
It's not in Japan. It's in China.
I am heartbroken.
It's Beijing. Yeah, it's Beijing.
Yeah, and it's London and Moscow are the other two.
Yeah.
You know the response I want to give you, Nitro, but it's going to.
I want to live in San Francisco.
That would be
San Francisco. Yeah.
By the way, that movie's amazing.
It is amazing.
Can Baymax and Star Citizen confirmed?
Yes, Baymax confirmed.
Well, you can watch videos in there.
Ante
No.
Perfecte, you can't
Not
call dibs on.
Betamax.
You can't call dibs on Master Chief. I've
Thank
already
you for
called
getting
dibs.
it, though.
God
Hey.
damn it, Shiver.
Agent 121370 asks, why does CIG not want us to have personal rooms or rented rooms at stations and outposts?
Because
don't think
we
that's what they
rotate
said.
through them so fast, they would fill up so quickly. That's what our hangars are for.
I would imagine, though, they would look at it well after release as something that could potentially happen, and there could be a few ways around it, like, you've got to pay a lease on it, and after 30 days it expires if you don't pay it, that sort of thing, how other games can do it. But it's not going to happen at release, most likely. But you've got your own stuff that you can drop on planets instead.
Move through these questions fast. I'm moving the line.
So this is for those who've never seen it, this is a picture of Cassell.
And Ashley asks, speaking of jump points, how dangerous do you think jumping without any guidance computer should be?
Pretty.
Lethal
Dangerous.
completely. Like, no, I think it should just be like, you cannot do it.
So difficult that it's going to be that scenario where you're like controlling your ship so hard your joystick pops off.
Well, you could do it, but the odds of you finding the exit inside the jump point are slim to none.
Never tell me the odds. Mr. Squarepeg asks, are you
For
excited
the
for
100,720 to 1.
Are you excited for E3 2018? Yes, no, why?
I'm always excited for E3. 100% of the time. E3 is the best because one of two things happens at E3. One of two things. One, it's a corporate cringe fest where they do a whole bunch of tone deaf crap
That's
on
true.
stage and it's wonderfully entertaining.
That is always fun.
Or
to
two, they announce awesome games. Either of those things can happen, which is why E3 is the best.
It's not either of those things can happen. It's both of those things will happen.
They will happen.
Good
They
point.
will happen.
So here's my question for you, Jake.
Confirmed, Relay is going to be streaming E3 2018 as they always do.
Fun drinking game. Take a drink every time somebody comes out on stage in a graphic T-shirt.
Oh god!
Every time.
Oh god, you'd be so drunk. Oh my god!
It's always Phil Spencer. 100% of the time, Phil Spencer.
And you have to take a drink every time he comes out in a different graphic T-shirt because he just goes backstage, changes his shirt, and comes back out.
Nuskavian says that Cyberpunk 2077 will be announced at this E3. It was already announced in 2012.
Well,
It was already announced.
but if they show it, I will lose my mind.
They're going to show it? Then probably because
I will lose my mind.
because the Cyberpunk Twitter tweeted this year.
Yes, for the first time.
They just said beep.
Well, actually, they said that they did that so they could keep the account.
Oh, okay.
But they
Ashley asks a
taking it
question
as
on
proof.
Dianetics. What would Boeing ships look like in the verse?
Like planes.
They would just put them like
they'd probably have like
engines on planes.
they probably just have like a string, maybe an arrow. I don't know.
I think they look very much like DC-3s without propellers or something, or jet engines, whatever. I'm not an airplane expert in any means, so whatever that is. And I think that people have been cast out and have got to pay lots of money to learn this sort of bullshit. This sort of philosophy that's perfectly acceptable as an alternative.
Why would a Boeing plane look like a McDonnell Douglas plane?
Nolric says
I value
take
my
a
life
drink.
and don't wish to go any further into this. Ashley asks, what do you think about human-controlled planet-side turrets on outposts with huge guns? This is what it...
Always
kind of like
huge
Mass
guns.
Effect 2's, the fucking huge guns that they used to drive off the
turbo
ship.
lasers.
Yes.
Nolric says take a drink every time someone says a buzzword or makes hand gestures. Take a drink every time someone says teraflops.
No, Rick. I am a very small person. I don't want to die from alcohol poisoning.
There is E3 bingo that r/games does every year, and it's
that's true.
great. So I always like playing E3 bingo.
By the way, I'm back playing Witcher 3 now, so I'm that much more hyped for Cyberpunk 2077.
CD.
Bill Wirt's Imposter asks a question that blows my mind. The sun is a deadly laser. Change my mind.
It is a deadly laser.
Yeah, I
Yes,
can't.
it is.
Yeah, I
It kills
can't argue
people
with that.
every year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm gonna do my super nerdy rant again.
Go.
Here we go.
Since we're at the end of our questions, on that topic, NASA has a mission going to the sun that's launching this year called the Parker Solar Probe, which is really cool. It will touch the very edges of the sun's corona, which is going to be a little warm. Yeah, kind of like that. Right there, that laser. Yeah. The terraforming beam.
I thought he was about to say teraflops. So I was going to take a drink.
So one of the cool things about Parker Solar Probe, it will be the fastest space probe ever launched because things going to the sun get going really, really fast. It will. It actually has to have two different sets of solar panels because if you try and use normal solar panels when you're close to the sun, they just melt. So they're using a normal solar panels when they're not close to the sun, and then they like retract back behind this big sun shield, and then it uses like these crazy super durable solar panels for when they're close to the sun.
I'm imagining a satellite with like giant solar panels and an even bigger set of sunglasses over top of them.
Someone who asked a question as a Mass Effect character with very painful hemorrhoids. They asked a PS5 question. I'm going to post an article in the chat that is not that.
Okay.
It is against what he said.
Okay, fair enough. I'm good with that. But anyway, to wrap up, Parker Solar Probe is launching in Delta IV Heavy this summer, but sometime between the end of July and mid-August. And that will be really cool. It will also do, believe it or not, it needs a whole bunch of gravity assists, so it will fly by Venus 7 times. So there'll be a whole bunch of interesting things that happen with that probe.
Hey, who subscribed? Someone did.
I didn't get a notification.
I don't know.
Quick question.
It didn't pop up in the chat, but the points went up.
Oh, weird.
Old Man Shakes Mr. Clouds asks, what type of buildings equipment would you expect to have access for base building? It will probably be difficult to fill 16 kilometers square of land.
I think you'll find it surprisingly easy. Once they start really, it depends
Repair
though.
bay.
Repair bay, hangars.
Some sort of vehicle hangar.
Yeah.
Strip club.
It really depends on the piece of land too. Like if you have a lot of mineral resources on your land, you may end up filling it with mining hardware pretty fast.
Yeah.
I mean, other pieces of land will be freaking useless. You'll just be like, wow, this is my bare patch of rock.
And that's it for questions.
That's it. We've done it. We've done the thing.
So what are we going to do for the next 8 minutes?
I don't know. Is anything sort of spring to your mind, Jake, that you want to mention? Talk about anything?
Joke's on him. There's nothing in that cup.
Shut up.
All right. So, hey, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on the Relay Station. We appreciate you. We appreciate you hanging out. We hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, that's okay. You're here. That's all that matters.
Thankfully, Twitch doesn't have a downvote button.
Nope, they don't. They do not. First of all, if you enjoyed the stream, go ahead and click that purple follow button up there. It's right up there. It's purple. Everything Twitch does is purple. So that's why it's purple. Also, if you want to support the stream and you enjoy our stuff and you want a really stupid emote, go ahead. You can hit that subscribe button up there. You can even do it with Twitch Prime. We don't care. Doesn't matter to us. Thank you for whoever subscribed before. We don't know who you are because it didn't actually tell us. Or maybe it did. We're just blind. But if you subscribe,
will you give us a wave though, Eric?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I think it's you.
No one wants. I don't do that. I can't do that.
If you subscribe, you get that emote in the chat. There it is. This is David's dumb face.
Look at him. He looks so happy.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey!
There it is. We've done it.
Thank you, Nehkara.
We've succeeded at life.
I was hoping if I stared at Shiver long enough that he would actually do it, but
if if you want to see our other stuff, you can go to our website. It's relay.sc. If you want one of those cool mugs that Shiver's got that he showed on the stream a second ago, it's gone now. It's gone. Oh, there it is. Here it is. You can also get one of these shirts that I'm wearing right here. Here it is. You can click the merch button at the top of the page there.
I have a cool.
You can also follow us on Twitter. You can go to Discord and hang out with us there. You can also go to Patreon. Yeah. We've done it.
Brilliant.
So, random factoid that popped into my head from this week. We were talking about the article that was posted on Crusader.
Yes.
So first of all, something people need to understand. The reason I said Crusader still needs to go into the game is Portal SR is not Crusader. That is none of the actual Crusader bit that will be in the game. Crusader is known for having a giant lattice work of floating platforms in the atmosphere of the planet that actually has breathable air. The cool thing, though, about that I learned this week is that those platforms were not actually built by Crusader. They were built by the military when that was in the Crusader document.
Took it over.
I thought that was really cool.
Oh,
anyway.
I forgot. We actually have to decide what day we're doing this. But Relay is going to do a podcast.
Yes, we are.
Where I talk about all of the last 10 years of Marvel movies, what is important in those Marvel movies, and what you need to pay attention when you go see Avengers 3. Because
the fuck is an Infinity Stone?
Exactly. Those questions and more will be answered in that podcast. They have been building this up since the first Iron Man movie in 2007. So, yeah.
God, has it been that long?
It's been that long.
Yep.
So we are going to do it. That is going to be probably in the next week because I want to do it at least a week before the movie comes out.
Cool.
So next week sometime. Yeah.
No spoilers. I haven't seen Iron Man yet. It's been 10 years, Ghost.
It's been 10 years, Ghost.
That Iron Man is amazing.
Iron Man's one of my favorites.
Nehkara, what have you got
Real quick, I'm going to spoil all 24 movies or whatever, how many 20-something movies
God.
in that list. There's like 20 something.
My friends want to binge watch it before we go see Avengers, and I don't.
That's a lot of movies.
A lot of
I'm not even
movies.
doing that.
I mean, we were going to do it.
Good ones.
We weren't going to do it all in one day, but we were going to watch all of them.
Niskavian asked, does the patron tier come with the merch discount of the shill? Yes. So we don't automatically give those codes. All you got to do is message one of us, and we'll give you the discount. No big deal. Probably me, because then I can harass my TeePublic rep to give me a code to give to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Nehkara, what have you got on this week?
Nothing really exciting. More of the same. Me and David will probably be covering the very important SpaceX launch on Monday. The Transiting Exoplanet Survey Satellite, also known as TESS, is being launched by Falcon 9, which is a NASA satellite NASA space telescope that will actually be searching for probably on the order of thousands of exoplanets nearby to Earth, as this telescope is specifically looking at the closest stars to Earth. So that's going to be really cool. That is the launch is currently scheduled for 6:30 Eastern time, which is, I believe, 10:30 UTC. Am I correct?
I'm not time zones.
Okay, just a second. I will find out. But yeah, so 6:30 Eastern if you're in the United States.
Best way to find out is if you go on our Discord. We have a whole channel dedicated to this stuff. Where Eric enjoys posting.
Oh yeah,
all the beautiful pictures.
But yeah, there's a whole channel on our Discord, and it should be a good launch. I think that David will be setting it up because he has Monday off for his birthday. So happy birthday to David.
Hooray.
It's a shame he's got to spend it in a prison cell.
Is it this coming Monday? 2 days from now? Okay. I also had a day off.
So just been stalling for so it's at 6:30 Eastern, 10 p.m. or 10:30, sorry, UTC. And that is a pretty convenient time for most people in North America. Actually, even for Europe, that's not too bad. And so hopefully everyone can join us and watch. Should be fun. All right, I'm done.
Right here. Okay.
That's right here. Yep, that's gonna be right here.
And Jake, what about yourself?
That's it. I'm doing that podcast thing. So this is a little ways off.
Where's the best place to hear about that before you go live?
The Discord. 100% Discord and Twitter, I guess. But we'll announce the date and time once we get a little bit closer.
Groovy.
I also have to set all that stuff up. Also, this is like 4 months away, but I figured I'd let everybody know. On my channel, I am going to be streaming the launch of the new WoW expansion, and I'm going to go deep into WoW lore and talk about all the stuff that has happened. So if you want to catch up on what's been going on in the Warcraft universe, because there's a lot. Believe it or not, the story has moved forward quite a bit in the last 2 years. So yeah, I'm going to do that.
So how deep are we talking here?
Real deep. I'm going to be playing my new Moose Tauren, whose name is ERRIS.
That's amazing.
He's a hunter.
Well, but he doesn't hunt, so.
Thanks, Carbide. We love you.
Thank you, Carbide Edge.
Do the wave. Someone do the wave.
I'm looking at you, Shiver.
Yeah, Shiv, you're in the top left corner.
Commander Hellfire says we need to watch these 6 movies. I'm like, you're missing 2/3 of the movies, my friend.
Yeah, I know Thor is important, but I think Thor.
They're all important.
They're all important. But I think just the first Thor isn't as important as like Ragnarok is to
Thor
the story.
Dark World is actually super important. Because
that's true. It hasn't. Yeah,
Jake,
that's true.
Jake, do you have a list of all of the movies?
Yes.
I want to make sure. Can you send it to me? I want to make sure I've actually seen them all.
Nitro.
All right, real quick, I'm going to list them off because since we're doing it next week. So hold on.
Fire.
Nitro. Go ahead, Nitro.
You can find me on Twitter at Nitro Typat. I sometimes help out with Relay because I love these guys. They do good work. And I stream video games on Tuesday, Thursday, and sometimes Saturday. I might do some tonight, but it'll probably be the same time as the Captain's Table, so go watch him instead. Follow me on Twitter. I'll let you know when I start streaming, and I also post cute animal, or I retweet a lot of cute animals and memes. So if you like a good laugh or you like the warm fuzzies, go follow me.
Okay, so real quick, because we're doing it next week and there won't be a podcast between now and then, I'm going to list off the movies that need to be watched or at least familiarized with, and the movies that we're going to be spoiling in that podcast. Those movies are Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk. Ignore the actor change. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Now, question real quick. Did The Incredible Hulk come out before or after Iron Man?
After.
Okay, really? I didn't know that.
About a month and a half afterwards.
Really? Okay.
Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the First Avenger, and the First Avengers movie. Iron Man 3, Thor 2, The Dark World, Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers 2, Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man Homecoming, Thor Ragnarok, and Black Panther. Those are the movies you need to watch before we...
I've actually seen them all.
Yeah, before we get into that business. I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because it's a little bit relevant. But there's not a whole lot of stuff, so I'm not going to spoil a lot of big things. but we'll talk about it at least. It's a good show if you haven't watched it. All the seasons are up on Netflix, except the one that's happening right now. Obviously.
Let's stitch all the movies into one long film.
Oh God, that's like 27 hours of film.
Yeah. Anybody want to hold a 48-hour film festival?
No, AMC is actually doing it. They're airing the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I love it.
3.
I love it.
It's ridiculous.
That's amazing.
They said they did it before the second Avengers, and people were like the theater started to smell.
Oh.
because it was 18 hours of movies, so people were there for more than a day. So it was bad.
Wow. That would do it.
All right. That's it. We did it. We finished.
I'm on Captain's table today, along with
awesome.
Oh yeah,
Captain Flynn, and
so you see this this logo we got right here.
Other corner.
We are part of Podsat, the first of 3 Star Citizen podcasts. So if you want some more goodness, the next one will have Shiver in its Captain's table. Twitch.tv/the Astropub. I'll post it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
That's it for this week.
Give Paul some love. He's doing a subathon today.
We all love Paul anyway. Yep. Love that guy.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, Nitro, for doing all the stuff.
No problem. I had fun.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.